Okay guys, I think what we're gonna do now, before we start working on the 4Runner, since it has been a little bit chilly today, last night, and it's gonna keep being chilly for the next week or two. You know, since it's been cold, and it's gonna keep being cold for a little while, you know, I know this isn't like up north cold, but you know, it's still a little uncomfortable. So I think we're gonna go maybe pick up a little something that's gonna make it a little nicer to work in the shop. The truck seems to like being plugged in. All right, so while the truck warms up, let's talk about what we might be doing today. This light's okay in here. All right, so we got one of the freeze plugs out, like the one that's in real bad shape. So now we are gonna have to, unfortunately, to get it back in, there's nowhere to swing a hammer in there. So what we're gonna have to do, get a little light going here. That manifold is gonna have to come off. So hopefully we can do it without breaking any of these studs up under here, but we're gonna worry about that later today. We're gonna go do a little running around right now, and we'll mess with this. Maybe let it get warm in the garage, maybe. We'll see. So, as you guys just saw, we went down to Harbor Freight because they were having kind of a blowout sale. So, which is like every day at Harbor Freight, of course. But, you know, we got a bunch of stuff out of some of the little like bargain manager bins, some odds and ends, you know. But the main reason we went there is to pick up this guy. Because it's kind of cold in here. This garage is not insulated all that well. So hopefully this is going to make it nice and toasty in here. I just went with one of these, you know, little tank top units. I was thinking about getting one of those awesome, you know, like the tube shaped like blower ones. But they were quite a bit more expensive. And I also, this isn't that big of a garage, and it's really not that cold compared to some other parts of the country. So I didn't really think we needed to go, you know, all out with it. So hopefully this should be a pretty good difference maker, but we'll see. So let's get it set up. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, I don't think the heater is going to work out today. I'm a big believer in you get what you pay for, usually. You know, I just kind of, you know, I'm not crazy about shopping at Harbor Freight. You know, they were having a good sale, you know, so I went and picked this up for kind of cheap. But this regulator, no matter how I try to seal it on here, is just pissing propane. I don't know if you saw that. See that? The regulator right here. I don't know if there's supposed to be an O-ring on there or something. I'm not real sure. I tried putting an O-ring on there because I have a bunch of O-rings and nothing really helps seal it up. But yeah, it's leaking propane like crazy. So I'd prefer not to blow myself up, much less the house. So we're gonna take this back. Probably not today because I just don't feel like leaving the house again. We may. I probably won't exchange it. I'll probably take it back and then I'll go buy a better one from somewhere else that is actually worth a damn. So anyways, we're just going to tough it out in the cold and we're going to see if we can get this exhaust manifold off. So here we are under the 4Runner. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. What you're looking at here is the underside where the exhaust comes down. So we've got to get these 3 bolts. There we go. There's 3 nuts on studs. So you can see the other one down there. Maybe. There it is. So the trick here is to get these off without snapping those studs. So what we're going to do, we're going to shoot these with some PB Blaster and we may put some heat on them with the torch. And then see if we can't break them loose. Okay, so one other little trick that we are going to employ, aside from the torch, because I really don't want these things to snap off. These studs, if they snap off, you know, I'm going to have to get new studs and have them threaded into that manifold, which, you know, I've had machine shops do it before. It's something I could probably do. It's just something I don't want to mess with. I'd rather not snap a stud. It would just save me a lot of work. So anyways, with that in mind, we're going to try to snap them off with the impact gun. Now the impact gun is, it's going to lower the likelihood of those studs snapping because it's going to be just a sudden, quick force instead of like gentle, progressive, you know, twisting with like a ratchet or a breaker bar or something. So, you know, just quick bursts with the impact and those things should snap right off. Correction, quick bursts with the impact, you know, just some quick little trigger pulls, and it should be able to knock those nuts loose without snapping the studs. Hopefully. We're going to see. Here goes. Hey, look at that. One down. Here's number 2. That one actually, I think. Yep. Took the whole stud out. Look at that. Oh well. Let's see if we can get number 3 to cooperate. Okay. That actually went a lot better than I expected. Ooh. Very nice. Just for safekeeping, I'm probably gonna. Not even gonna pull the O2 sensor. They're just gonna disconnect it here and just take the whole thing out. Okay, so now this gives us pretty good access to these. Ooh, that thing is super crusty. So we're probably going to replace this freeze plug too because this one's real bad. But now we should have room to get in here and do what we need to do. So we've run into a bit of a snag here. As you can see, this is the one that came out of this first hole. I mean, this one is pretty bad, if you can see there. But the one down here, believe it or not, is even worse. So you can see that freeze plug is just tearing apart. So I gotta be real careful getting this thing out of here. So what we're probably gonna do is, this is our new heater pipe that we put on. So we are probably just gonna take it back off so that we can, as you can see, it's kind of in the way there, and I want to be sure I get everything out. So we're gonna take this out of the way. All right, so with a little persuasion, and using a socket extension, oddly enough, this was like the best tool. You know, I just put this little edge right up against the rim of the the freeze plug and just tapped it, and out it came eventually. But now, where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Oh. So here's the bundled mess that we pulled out of there. There also looked to be like some kind of, I don't know if this is like putty or what, but you can see, I don't even tell there's like fingerprints on it or something. So I don't know, it looks like someone maybe tried to patch it at one point in its life, but it's out of there now. So now the fun part, putting the brass replacements in. All right guys, so as you can see, 2 new freeze plugs right where they should be. This front one was tough. We actually ended up having to remove this coolant pipe and everything and pull it out of the way, because you got to swing a hammer in this direction, like dead on, in order to squeeze that thing in there. So that's what we had to do, but we're getting it all put back together now. We're gonna have to wait on gaskets for this thing, however, before we're able to button it all the way back up. So I think we'll probably go ahead and just close the video out here. I'm about done for the day. So if you are watching for the first time, remember to hit the like button below and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at Maximum Warp. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.